This is for all you people who keep asking me if I live right next to a highway. Yes, all the time, 24/7. There's cars and semis driving past here.
What's up, guys? It's Meg, and it's that time of the week again where we get to talk about the best show on television, AMC's The Walking Dead. Today we're talking about season 6, episode 13, called The Same Boat. What did you guys think of that episode last night? I definitely enjoyed it. I was a little thrown off by why the writers decided to give us this episode. I went into it sort of thinking that Carol was gonna die. I was really worried. I really feel like there is a good chance she could die before the end of the season. And so this particular episode, knowing that it was going to be like a Maggie Carol solo episode, really had me worried for her. So at the end of the episode, when she was still alive, I had to look back and think, okay, why did the writers give us this episode? What was the purpose of showing us this? Because so far, since episode 9, everything has been action, story moving forward, story moving towards the finale, big things are happening, and then we have this like solo episode thrown in here. So I did enjoy the episode. I was very, very happy that my Carol survived. I love Carol. I really liked Maggie in this episode as well. I liked that she really took a stand and did what needed to be done, even though she didn't want to do it. And I liked that at the end of the episode, we saw her really say, I can't do this anymore. And that also just, I mean, it's just furthering her story and leading her to comic spoilers. There will be just a few comic spoilers in here, nothing really big. But leading her to the hilltop and to eventually leading the hilltop, and she's gonna go there to stay safe eventually. Not right away, obviously, but I feel like that realization that she came to at the end of the episode when she tells Glenn that she just can't do it anymore, I'm really happy that we see that in her, that she's willing to do what needs to be done, but that she also is able to realize that she does need to take a step back. And we saw in the end of last episode, episode 12, where Carol asked her, why are you here? You know, and she's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And I think, you know, she thinks like, of course I have to be here. Of course I have to help. Of course I have to do this. Of course I have to fight. And then by the end of episode 13 here, we realize that she's like, no, maybe I don't have to do this anymore. Maybe I can take a step back, worry about the baby, worry about myself. Maybe I don't have to keep going out and doing these things. So that was my take on the Maggie scenes. I very much enjoyed the parallels we saw in this episode between Paula and Carol and Maggie and Shell. They're very much, they appear on the outside to be different people. And then as the episode progresses, we see that, you know, Carol and Paula are very, very similar. Really, the only difference is that Paula has pretty much lost all of her humanity. She doesn't feel bad anymore. She said in the episode when she's talking about her history, she says very blatantly, my boss was the first person I ever killed. When I got to double digits, I stopped counting, and that was also about the time that I stopped caring, and she hasn't cared since. And she even comments about her, I guess Donnie is the guy that got shot in the arm. I think that was like her boyfriend, and she even comments that she doesn't have any like problem with killing him right now, that he's just a warm body in her bed. So she really lacks any kind of emotions anymore. And we see Carol in this episode. Now she is, at the beginning, I very much believe that she is pretending, she's acting. This is another Carol gimmick, another Carol plan. Her plan, you know, she's very adaptable. She's very much like a chameleon where she can adapt to the situation and try and make it go in her favor by acting a certain way. And so she's pretending to be this weak, scared person, you know, praying. And then throughout the episode, we realize that not all of that is really a game. Not all of that is a facade. That quite a bit of that emotion that she's showing is actually very real, which is you know, a big surprise for us who have followed Carol for so long. She has been very hardened and willing to do whatever it takes, and we see her at Terminus, and we see her with the wolves, and she does what she has to do, and she kills who she needs to kill to survive and to protect the people that she loves. And we saw for a while there, we were like, whoa, Carol, when she killed Karen and David, that was a very like shocking moment, and we thought, well, where is your humanity going, Carol? Are you still a person in there? Are you feeling any of this, And now in this episode, we see that the difference between her and Paula is that she is making an effort to turn herself around. She's trying. We see that she's trying to adopt Morgan's philosophies in here, and we know that in that 2-month time jump, a lot of what Morgan has said to her, or maybe just his actions in general that she's observed, have greatly affected her, and now she's kind of struggling with this internal battle of what's right and what's wrong, and all of the people that she's killed, and she has her kill list documented in a notebook, and she's really struggling with this. And at the end of the episode, when Maggie and Carol escape, Carol wants to just leave. She wants to escape. She doesn't want to kill anybody else. She just wants to go while they still can. That's a big change for Carol. And then Maggie makes a decision. She says, no, we have to take care of this. We have to end this now. We have to kill the rest of these people. We have to do what needs to be done. And they're standing up there observing, waiting for the backup, Savior's backup, to come in. And Carol says, I have to rewatch it again, but she says, like, I think I killed 22 or something like that. And she's talking about how many people she's killed, in the double digits here. And she says something along the lines of, if I had killed that man in the woods, meaning Johnny, I could have killed him. I shot him in the arm instead. She's that Morgan thing, and she's hearing Morgan's voice in the back of her head. She says, none of this would have happened. And now the battle continues in her mind, where she's like, okay, well, if I had just done what I normally do, none of this would have happened. Maggie wouldn't have been threatened. We would have been safe. We wouldn't have had to then kill all of these people as well, So she's really struggling with this. And we see in a preview of next episode, episode 14, that she goes to Daryl and is talking to him about killing Dwight, or you could have killed him but you didn't, and I think we're just going to continue to see more of this struggle with her, where she is finding equal ground here. She's trying to find a happy place of, between who she was and who she wants to be, and how she can figure out if she's making the right choices here. That was my take on the episode with her. Let me know if you guys had a different take, or, I don't even know that I got the full grasp of what this episode was really about and what it's leading to. We also saw at the end where Rick decides to kill Negan, or this man who he thinks is Negan, because apparently amongst the Saviors, everyone is Negan, and they are very loyal and willing to protect Negan no matter what. And it kind of reminded me of, soldiers when they go to war, and if they're captured, all they're supposed to say is their name and rank, and they're not supposed to say anything else, and they're trained to not do that. And that's kind of what it reminded me of, that revealing who Negan really is much scarier. The punishment is probably much scarier than what could happen to you if you just pretend to be Negan yourself. So that kind of tells you a little bit about Negan's rule over his people. So this episode was obviously leading us somewhere very big here. They would not have put this episode with just Carol and Maggie here if it didn't really mean something. And yes, it progressed their characters, but we are going to see something very big from Carol here, whether or not it's leading up to her death or just becoming a different person here. There's definitely more to the story, and this is not the end of it this season. We will see something much bigger come from Carol before the season ends, I'm sure of it. As for Maggie, I know, and I'm sure most of you know, that it is leading her to the hilltop, and we're just seeing her grow into this leader that we know she'll eventually become. So what does this boil down to? They've killed all of these Saviors, plus the backup Saviors, plus Paula and her crew, and they've killed someone who they think is Negan. Now, Rick was like, he jumped the gun. He was just like, boom, you're dead. It really affected Carol. We saw that. And now they go back to Alexandria thinking everything is fine. Little do they know, everyone is Negan. Now, I would like to know why Jesus didn't give Rick a description of what Negan actually looked like. I feel like that would have been really helpful. Like, hey, he looks like, this kind of hair, he carries around a baseball bat, he wears a leather jacket, it's like something, because we know that Jesus saw him, because he said he rolled into their you know, camp and killed someone right away, beat him to death. So we know that they've seen Negan before. I just feel like it would have been a little helpful to tell Rick, like, this is what the dude looks like. Because Rick's just going in blind. They don't know if they've got him or what. Also, I have to touch on the Daryl and Carol moment. Obviously, I have in the past been a Daryl and Carol fan. Pretty much I just want Daryl to find someone who makes him happy. I also want Carol to find someone who makes him happy, who makes her happy. I liked that we saw her with Tobin. I think that's great. Obviously, like, the Daryl and Carol ship has like sailed, and that's not gonna happen. It's just not. The characters have moved too far apart. But I really like this friendship and this bond that they have together. And the fact that when Daryl comes in and he immediately looks at her, touches her chin, he's like, "Are you okay?" And he hugs her. And it was just really what Carol needed in that moment. She needed someone to hold on to and to hug her and, you know, tell her it's gonna be okay. And I really like that we see that kind of emotion from Daryl, that Daryl is softer, and he never would have done that before. He never would have gone up to someone and hugged them to make them feel better. And to see that progression in his character as well, like, it was just such a heartwarming moment, and Carol really needed that at the end of the episode, and I love seeing them and their friendship together. Obviously, I have no hopes of them ever being together, and also I think it would be really weird at this point. So, you know, take it for what it is. I like that we also see her reach out to him again in the preview for the next episode. So that is it for my review. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. If I missed anything, feel free to let me know in the comments. Please, no spoilers. If you know any spoilers for the upcoming episodes or the season finale, please, like, do not tell. We spoiler-free channel here, no spoilers. Also, don't think you're being sneaky by telling me your spoilers as if they're just predictions, okay? I'm smarter than that. I usually know when you guys are doing that. So please don't do that. Respect the channel, respect everyone who wants to stay spoiler free. Super excited for the next couple episodes. Also really scared for the finale. Like I said, that's it for this review. I'm gonna be doing a dead ahead predictions video. Hopefully next, I'm gonna try and just do it right away so that I don't miss out like I did last week. And I also thought, since I'm having such a hard time replying to all of the comments lately, I'm just so busy with work and my daughter that I read them, but I'm like, I don't have time to type on my phone. You know, when my thumbs are too fat to like type on. It's very difficult when you're in a hurry. Most of my time is spent driving, working, or doing, like, trying to do this, which is very minimal time. So what I was saying is I'm also wanting to do a video, like maybe just commenting on or replying to your comments in the video. And I think I'm gonna try that this week and see. That way I don't have to spend so much time typing it out. I can just like run through and reply to them real fast, and then, you know, it won't really be that much of an edited video. It won't take very long. So I'll try that. Let me know what you guys think of that, and I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a great day. Bye.